night tonight in Las Vegas. Our matchup in this title game, the number 3 seed, the Broncos of Santa Clara, against the top seed, the Zags, in this game for the 29th straight year. The Gonzaga Bulldogs going for a West Coast Conference title. May not be the matchup that a lot around college basketball thought was coming. St. Mary's got upset last night, but we expect a great title game.
The Gonzaga Bulldogs are going on to the tournament.
It's celebration time in Las Vegas.
Their 22nd West Coast Conference Tournament Championship.
Gonzaga is going into the Pac-12 next year.
Even though it is coming to an end, in some ways, the story's even better. It goes in! A shot that's going to be remembered for a long time.
They're the real deal, man.
The Zags will celebrate a 29th consecutive trip to the West Coast Conference Tournament Championship game.
It is going to be a battle.
Love it. So many great players, so many great memories over the years in this WCC championship, and we expect some more here tonight. A fascinating matchup as the two teams get ready to go in front of a raucous pro-Gonzaga crowd here at the Orleans Arena in Vegas. Hi, everybody. Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham. Great to have you with us on championship night. And look, Sean, I think it's just a fact that a lot of folks around the country expected number 1 versus number 2 Gonzaga, St. Mary's. Don't let that fool you. Santa Clara is very capable of winning this game. They seem like they're poised to go to the NCAA tournament. No matter what happens tonight, they can clinch it with a victory here.
Yeah, it's been a great story for Herb Sendek and Broncos. 30 years since they last went to the NCAA tournament. I think last night's win cements them into the field. So does Joel Lenardi. He has been as a 10th seed right now. But you can even move up maybe an additional line if you take care of business against a team like Gonzaga.
And they have a player, Santa Clara does it, probably nobody around the country knew about before. Last night's game, a lot of people are talking about this kid now.
Yeah, Sash Gavalugov was unbelievable against St. Mary's. Their offense struggled in the first half. They put him in on-ball screens. They forced the big to have to defend on the outside and drop coverage. He hurt St. Mary's big time. And then this was the dagger and a little night-night right afterwards. He'd like to say night-night to the Bulldogs at the end of tonight. And they need him to have a big game because they're going to have to win the three-point line in this contest. They have to dominate in points from beyond the arc.
Arguably Santa Clara's biggest shot made since Steve Nash wore that uniform. Seriously, what a moment that was last night. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, just a huge challenge. We say it every time the Zags take the court, but Graham Ike dominated Santa Clara in the regular season.
He dominated Santa Clara. He dominated really every opponent that they played throughout the course of the year. But in particular, 72% shooting against the Broncos. Almost 28 points per contest, and then just ate them up on the glass. And they've got to figure out a way to slow down the paint production of Gonzaga to the Broncos. They averaged 58 points per game in the paint against Santa Clara on the season. If they can get that number just down to the Zags average, which is about 46 points per game, it'll help them out immensely.
All the accomplishments of this program under Mark Few, 27 years, every single time his team has played in this championship game in the WCC. This will be their last. I think Mark was feeling a little sentimental before the game about that. And on the other side, a guy, Herb Sendek, who's been around forever, won his 600th game of his head coaching career. Just last night, it was a monumental one.
WCC Coach of the Year. Make no mistake about it, this game is in Las Vegas, but we show you the images of the crowd as Graham Ike yelled right in front of us during warm-ups. We got ourselves a home game.
It's loud, it's raucous, it's pro-Zags, and yet Santa Clara with a real shot to pull off a win and win their first WCC tournament title since 1993. Been a long time for the Broncos, this proud program. And their fans so excited to have their team back in this game. Santa Clara's got the ball to start. Big Ensminger's been around for a while, trying to find some room. He traveled.
Well, one of the things Gonzaga has done such a great job of this season has been the ability with their length on the perimeter defensively. They switch everything. And where that shows up is staying connected to shooters. And in the two matchups against the Broncos didn't even come close to what their season average is as far as three-pointers made and then the efficiency from beyond the arc in the two games combined.
Full court pressure from Santa Clara. You saw the starting lineups, including Jalen Worley, who came out of last night's game for Gonzaga feeling pretty good. He had missed a lot of time at the end of the regular season, a very important player for them. Mario Sansuperi avoided a turnover. Adam Miller from the elbow, short. Ricochet out to the young point guard with the shot clock back to 20.
Rebounding the basketball, they've got to keep it tight. The Broncos don't necessarily have to win the rebounding battle, but they do have to keep it competitive.
Good double team. Mahi tried to go all the way. Inocenti blocked the shot. Santa Clara will keep it.
They got to create turnovers, try to play out in front of the defense. The Broncos were a little bit loose with the basketball in their 2 meetings. The first matchup, the Broncos turned over 15 times and allowed the Zags to score 21 points off those turnovers. Look at that starting lineup. Christian Hammond is a player to keep an eye on. They need a big game out of him. Did not have a great contest last night. He's got his hands on the ball right now. One of the most improved players in the WCC.
The first team all-league player. Missed some shots he doesn't ordinarily miss in last night's game. Brenton Napper, the starting point guard. Galilugov doesn't even start on this team. Neither does Alan Graves. Hammond in the lane drew a whistle. So a foul against Gonzaga, and Hammond's going to get himself to the free throw line.
A great opportunity to talk about how much he has improved in Christian Hammond. He averaged just 3.4 points per game, and this year has taken a massive step forward, averaging almost 16 points per contest, shooting 40% from beyond the arc, and he's been a big spark for them. When he makes his three-point shots and he gets over 3 threes in a game, they have like a 75% win percentage.
Has to be a relief for Santa Clara to see a couple free throws go in early.
Struggled last night, and that's being kind.
It's sort of a disaster from the foul line, and yet they found a way to beat a very good St. Mary's team to advance to this championship game. They've got the first 2 points of the night. Gonzaga in the half court. I figure their job is to get touches for Ike. Sansuperi, that was a tie-up. Hammond got his hands in there. Tough defensive play there.
Doing a good job right now when Graham Ike is setting the on-ball screen. They're tagging really well out of the backside of it, and then Hammond, just a great job. Vice grips getting his hands on the ball and tying it up.
Shot clock at 6. Gonzaga will inbound along the baseline. A couple minutes without a point for the Zags at the start of this game. I don't know if Miller really realizes that shot clock situation. Now he does. Got a shot off and didn't hit it. Worley, great save. Inocenti short-armed it. Loose ball. And finally, Santa Clara comes away with it.
Both the regular season matchups, very high scoring. The second one was 94-86. Expect a game where the tempo is going to be extremely quick.
Mahi spun baseline, hits a tough shot.
Really good start here for Santa Clara. Defensively, they've kept Graham Ike at bay early. And offensively, you're starting to see them try to apply some pressure inside the three-point line.
I think
that's going to be a foul.
Yeah, that's a whistle away from the ball against the Broncos. Part of the challenge to me for Santa Clara, for all the success and the wins and whatnot, and a lot of great players, guys who are playing in the NBA. They haven't been in this title game as a program since 2007. So the early minutes, can this particular group really believe against a Zags team that's here every single year? Can they believe that they can pull it off?
Well, they gave so much energy last night. You saw the excitement as the game came to a close, and they realized that they're probably going to the NCAA tournament. That's a turnover off of Graham Ike's knee. Second turnover for Ike early.
That's unusual.
But with the release of that emotion and the excitement of going, man, we're going to go to the NCAA tournament, realizing that they're there. Can they get back up tonight, or can they play even freer tonight? And I think in the early stages of this game, we've seen a team that's very confident, playing very loose.
Hammond is going to drive. Elevates and hits the shot.
And just walking Adam Miller into the paint and then elevated up over the top.
And he looks much more comfortable in the early minutes of this game than he did at any point really in the semifinal game against St. Mary's. Here's Inocenti, drive, had it poked away. That's a foul. Santa Clara not afraid to commit fouls.
Well, they did it frequently last night, but they do have to be careful. I think the more you foul early in this contest and you get Gonzaga to the free throw line, it just also softens up the interior to defense. And I mean, it can be like a run game in a football contest. You know, like early on, maybe you've gotten a couple successful stops, but eventually the star running back's going to break loose. And if you keep allowing the interior presence to get fouls on the dribble penetration, Ike's going to start to go to work and start cooking.
He committed that personal. Inocenti missed the first of 2 free throws. Gonzaga still looking for his first point. And finally they get it more than 3 minutes in.
Well, this is a Gonzaga team that's built a little different. They don't have the perimeter shooters that you've seen or you come accustomed to in the past. Guys like Julian Strawther, Corey Kispert, to name a few.
Well, no Braden Huff. He's still hurt and out. One of the better offensive players in America. They've become a more defensive-oriented team. Well, now Santa Clara, real strength for them is that these two guys come in off the bench. And it's not just Gavalugov who was the hero last night. Alec Graves, one of the better freshmen in the country, right away gets a shot and hits a three. He was in the game for about 3 seconds.
He's a pro. He's going to be in the NBA. He's just got great spatial awareness out on the floor. And Mark Hughes said his ability to pick and pop could cause us some problems.
Saint-Supéry, three. Good! First shot from the field for Gonzaga.
A really good look and a much-needed field goal. First field goal, as you mentioned, partner, to go through the net.
Well, this kid's not going to be shy. Gavalugov missed his first attempt. Saved inbounds by Graves. And it's out of bounds off of Gonzaga. And that'll send us to a timeout. Quick pace and a good start for the number 3 seed, Santa Clara. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball.
What up, Broncos? It's J-Dub here. Just wanted to say how excited and super proud I am of you guys for making it all the way to championship. You guys have had a tremendous season. It's been fun to follow you guys the whole entire year. It's the most invested I've been in college basketball since I left. Super proud of you guys. Get the job done. You guys deserve this. And I also can't wait to watch you guys in the tournament. So go ahead and handle business tonight. And I'll see you guys during the March Madness, bro. I'll be sitting here with my jacket on, yelling at the TV.
How great is that?
One of the all-time great, really, Broncos in recent memory, but what he's already accomplished in his NBA career has just been sensational. And this is a program that Herb Sendek has brought up over time, and they've done a great job evaluating talent, bringing talent in, cultivating that talent. Alan Graves, the guy on the floor now that's going to hear his name called very soon in the NBA draft, and he'll get to join J-Dub.
He will, whether it's this draft or the next one. He's got scouts excited. Santa Clara's produced a lot of NBA talent recently. Elijah Mahi. Gavalugov got cut off baseline. In fact, he stepped on the end line. That's a turnover.
Take a look at those two. Both had great careers. Jalen Williams, coming out of Arizona, was undersized and grew, and then was a stud at Santa Clara. Brandon Pajemski, I remember his dad texted me on a direct message on social media, said, "Hey, my son's going to kill it next year." And I kind of scoffed. You know, averaged 1.7 points per game at Illinois, and I apologize to him if you remember that championship game we did together, because he was right. Like, he was a stud all season long.
Zags trying to get the offense going. There it is. Spins and dunks it baseline.
How about you knew Graham was going to come that first time out. Hadn't soared, unable to apply pressure underneath.
Mahi contested three. That one off the mark. Out of bounds and off of Gonzaga.
You got to understand he wants to turn over that right shoulder, and because he posted off the block, Graves was leaning a little bit towards the middle of the floor. Graham Ike spins off him with the easy flush.
It'll be a really interesting battle with those two when they're both on the floor at the same time. Can Graves beat him on the offensive end outside, and can Ike do that to him on the other side?
Santa Clara hasn't figured out the riddle that is 1-5 in white.
Good pass. Graves had it stripped, and it went in. That basket should count. They said it was a shooting foul.
No, it went through the hoop.
It did.
Mike Greenstein was trying to tell him they're counting the basket.
Yeah, the basket went in. It was weird. And Marcus Pettigrew, I don't blame him for kind of being confused by that, but he said 2 shots. No, that shot went in. 3-point opportunity.
Unbelievable. They slapped down on his hand, and it actually ricocheted off of his own hand as it came back and went through the net.
Free throw good. That's a 3-point play. Gavalugov for all the shots he made. He also made a tremendous pass late in the game last night. Shades of that on that play to Graves.
Just this Broncos team, this Broncos offense is so efficient. They share the basketball. They really do a great job of trying to draw to it. If you get two to the ball, they're going to find their teammate.
Chenti shoots a three. Off rim. Rebound. Graves snatches it down. Jerry Darlin almost just fumbled it out of bounds. He's going to shoot the three. That one's short. And Tyon Grant Foster could not grab the rebound. Zags fans thought he got shoved. No whistle. Graves trying to drive against Ike. Man, physical defense there. Shot clock down to 7. Mahi turns baseline. Tough shot goes down.
Mahi does such a good job on those drives where he gets to the block area or just off the block and absorbing the contact from the defense and then spinning off with a little bit of a fadeaway.
Ike one-on-one against Graves. Well, these two are going at it. Ike passes in a Chenti. Count the basket and a foul.
Graham Ike did a good job. Mark Few talked about it. Part of the reason why they scored so many points in the paint against Santa Clara is because of their cutting ability. They average about 24 points per game against Santa Clara on cuts. And you see Inocente face cut and be able to score. And then Mahi at the other end. He did a lot of that early in the game last night. And he's off to another good start here tonight for the Broncos. But if you're Santa Clara right now, I'm sure their staff knows, hey, 24 points off of cuts. So much attention to Ike. If you're ball watching defensively and you have no awareness of where your man is and they cut in front of your face, it's going to be a layup.
Braden Smith in for Gonzaga for the first time. Hammond back. Hammond off to a nice start. Finds his teammate in the corner. That three no good. And out of bounds again off Gonzaga. Three missed by the freshman KJ Cochran.
Really good job on the glass right now for Santa Clara early. They've got to be able to maintain this. They're +4 on the glass already. You have 7 second chance points, make it 9.
Wow, Zags just fell asleep on the inbound pass. Great look. The easy two.
Now 9-0 in second chance points. And Broncos have as many second chance points as Gonzaga has total points in this game.
That's pretty amazing. Skip pass. Tyon Grant Foster drives. Finds Ike. Blocked. And that one out of bounds off of Santa Clara.
Tyon Grant Foster, not a great three-point shooter. Good job driving and finding, though, Graham Ike. And then Darlin with this long wingspan, able to get his hands on that one and deflect it away from Ike.
He does have some physical tools, Jerry Darlin, who hasn't put up big numbers. He was a real famous figure in college basketball because he was the first of those guys who had played in the G League to come back and play in college. Lob, Grant Foster. What a screen.
And what a call out of bounds by Mark Few.
Dribbled into a three. That one off the mark. Another offensive rebound. Graves gives it up. Hammond. And they're going to call a foul against Santa Clara. Or maybe just a turnover.
No, just watch the inbounds play, though. You see the screen by Inocente. No communication. And just Cochran just falls asleep. I mean, no talk whatsoever. And Tyon Grant Foster, great pass and an excellent finish.
So not a foul, just a turnover against Santa Clara. Broncos lead by 5. Zags ball. Boye back in the game, and he gets called for the reach-in. So here we go again with Santa Clara. The fouls are starting to pile up.
It's played them last night, and they were able to rally and overcome it. I think it's harder to do against a team like Gonzaga, who's so efficient at the offensive end of the floor. They are top 10 nationally in their field goal percentage. They lead the WCC in assist-to-turnover ratio on the season. It's another great year. I mean, we've talked about a lot of great teams in college basketball. Zags are 29-3.
and we hardly talk about them leading into the NCAA tournament on the national level.
29-3. They win this title game tonight. It's their 30th win, a 3 for Grant Foster.
Well, if he's making those shots, they will win the championship. I mean, just not a three-point shooter.
Francis Chukwu-Dabo is in. The big man with Oboye now with a couple of fouls. There's another foul against Santa Clara after the missed shot.
Well, Mark View squad, they've got depth on the wing and time. Grant Foster able to stretch from the outside, not to strengthen his game, but his ability to elevate and finish, it is. He's given a spark off the bench for the team from Spokane.
Coach and Zubin in the studio. Coach Claxton has his alma mater back in the dance.
Absolutely incredible. When you're in a one-bid league, there is no better feeling, and to be an alum who helped rebuild Hofstra basketball, that's what it's all about right there.
Totally indescribable. There are 10 teams that have punched their ticket. Also tonight, congratulations to Wright State. Picked 7th in the preseason poll.
Hot Rod Strickland.
Hot Rod Strickland with LIU getting it done. He just put the net around his neck. Guys, we'll see at the half.
12 men's tournament, second round action from Kansas City tomorrow on ESPN, ESPN2,
I'll be there.
ESPNU on the app. You're going to be there tomorrow.
I'll be there tomorrow on air.
Hustle.
But hey, how about A.J. DeBonsa, 40-point game in his first postseason game for BYU in that win against Kansas State. And Cincinnati is a team to keep an eye on that potentially could steal a bid. They've been red hot down the stretch. Wes Miller's done a great job rallying this team late. And now they got a chance here in the tournament to make some more noise. Got UCF tomorrow.
Meanwhile, here in Las Vegas, the championship game in the West Coast Conference. Santa Clara off to a great start. Here come the Zags down by just 2. Broncos have led by 8 in the early minutes of this one.
But you know that the Zags are coming. So you've got to just get off to a good start. You got to weather the storm, weather their runs. You've got to stay true to the defense and how you want to play. And what you have to stop doing is fouling.
It's incredible how frequent Santa Clara is committing fouls. They did it last night, and they're doing it again tonight.
KJ Cochran has played 2 minutes worth of. Gave up a dunk on an out-of-bounds play.
Just a freshman, but some ragged moments in this championship game.
You got to come in, you got to make an impact in the game, and you got to do so in a positive fashion.
Davis Fogel, a freshman who's been very positive for the Zags. Grant Foster. And that's a reach-in foul against Santa Clara.
There's free throws for the final 11+ minutes of this first half. I mean, if you're Santa Clara, you can't give away free points.
That's Mahi's second foul, and that's a big call.
And if you're the Zags, just keep driving. They're going to push you. They're going to hold you. You're fine with that.
They average more fouls than anybody in the league this year, and they're living up to that in Las Vegas. But the front end missed by Grant Foster. It is a weakness for Gonzaga. They are not a great free throw shooting team. Ensminger, he's got the point guard trying to guard him. Ensminger, though, kicked it out. Mahi, high arcing 3. Tip up by Graves. Rebound Ike. Grant Foster and Achenti runs the floor. Misses the layup. Fogel there. He gives it up. And then Graves pulls it away.
Graves so good active on the defensive end of the floor. Averages about 2 steals per contest. Mark Few, what he tells us, it like reminds him of Anton Watson's ability to just actively poke the ball away as frequently as Anton did, who was a great player for the Zags.
High praise. One of the great defensive players in the history of Zags basketball. Ike swats Hammond with 9 on the shot clock.
Graham Ike just tracking him down, doing a great job, not fouling, showing his hands to the official, and then making the play as soon as the ball got exposed.
All those fouls on Santa Clara. Zags have only committed 2 fouls. Trying to get it in. They couldn't do it. So that's a turnover for the Broncos. Still lead by 2 about halfway through this first half, showing some pressure again.
And kind of token pressure. They want to slow down the offense for the Zags, force them to initiate their offense a little bit later and try to take away some of their action where they can get Graham Ike in space and alone on an island on the block. We haven't seen Graham Ike really dive and then duck in.
Chente tried to flip it to Ike. Graves was there again. Man, he's just got a knack for that. Another steal for Santa Clara. Hammond. Napper three. Short. Fogel snatches it. Here goes Fogel. And flipped it up. Blocking foul. Count the basket.
Well, when you shoot threes, sometimes it's a long rebound. A long rebound leads often to a run out, especially if you're playing the Zags. And James Fogel gets the blocking call and the finish for an N1 opportunity. Braden Huff being out, Davis Fogel has been a guy that Mark Few has had to lean on. And, you know, we talked about Braden Huff, but you're trying to replace an 18-point-per-game scorer that shoots 66% from the field. And Davis Fogel doesn't have to make up all of it, but they certainly need his offense. He's a confident young freshman.
Another missed free throw for Gonzaga, so just the two. Mahi dribbled it out of bounds. Man, that is sloppy. Gonzaga, they've dominated so many opponents in this league. It's surprising that Santa Clara, it's been so lopsided. 55 meetings, 4 wins for the Broncos. 51-4 going back.
I mean, you can look at
25 years.
Look at the cheat sheet and try to figure it out. I mean, they've dominated this conference for a long, long period of time.
Can Santa Clara find a way to get a breakthrough win? Smith three, in and out.
Graves has done a great job in this game. I mean, he came out ready to score offensively, but he is battling on the boards. He's created a couple of turnovers. The freshman is ready for this championship game.
Ensminger against Smith. He's got to make Gonzaga pay for that matchup. He did with the pass.
And it's Graves. He doesn't need a lot of space. He gets his feet set, and he lets it rip. What a first half. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 3 of 3 shooting, and 2 steals.
Yeah, all kinds of steals, deflections. Grant Foster elevates, hits another three.
We've been talking all season long about, trying to bait. Teams want to bait tie on Grant Foster into shooting threes. But tonight he's knocked down a pair of them.
Trying to look off. Had a tough shooting start for last night's Santa Clara hero. Here's Graves along the baseline against Ike. Working his way closer.
That's a foul.
Yeah, I mean, Ike just shoved him.
That's a foul.
Finally, they called a foul. There were about 4 fouls, it looked like, in there.
Literally 2 hands in the back, but Ike turns his head, loses Graves ever so slightly, creates a little bit of a longer closeout, and then time Grant Foster, teams are going to want to bait him in. They're okay gapping him because he's so good at driving to the basket, but he's hurt the Broncos twice now from beyond the arc.
That's exactly what Gonzaga needs. To reach their ceiling, to be the best version of themselves, somebody or a combination of players needs to hit some outside shots. Mahi cut off on the drive. Morley now matched up with Gavalugov. Saint-Supéry poked it out of bounds. Shot clock at 6. Taking us to a timeout. So the Broncos are going to have to get a quick shot off when we come back to Vegas in this WCC championship game. A white coat. So Dr. Lunardi, he'll be a part of this. We got you covered on Selection Sunday. 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, Sports Center on ESPN. Reese and the whole gang gonna look at the men's field as the brackets are announced. Then we got the full bracketology show, breakdowns of every region. And at 8 o'clock Eastern, women's field of 68 revealed. Complete breakdown of each matchup at 8 Eastern on ESPN Selection Sunday. As of right now, Dr. Lunardi has Zags as a 4 seed. St. Mary's, even with their loss in the semifinals last night, as a 7 seed, and Santa Clara up to a 10 seed, and right now avoiding those play-in games. They're probably not supposed to call them play-in games.
First four.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and I think they've earned it. I think they earned it with that win over Samaris, and it played extremely well so far here tonight. A tie game. I think if you're Herb Sednick, even though they were up early, if you say, hey, you're tied at the under 8 in the first half, how you feel about what you're doing? He's probably saying he feels pretty good because they haven't really even gotten going from beyond the arc yet.
Graves, he got the shot off, missed it, right as the shot clock buzzer was going off, and the Zags are trying to run.
That's his first missed shot of the game.
Yeah, he's played really, really well.
And he's the only one that has made a three-point shot for the Broncos. They're 2 of 10 from deep.
Saint-Supéry for 3. No. Rebound. Darlin grabs the loose ball.
+7 on the glass right now for the Broncos. That's a big part of how they're still in this game and keeping it tied is they're battling and being physical.
Good pass. Cochran with the left hand.
Much better. You know, sometimes as a freshman, you need to go to the bench. You need to breathe and exhale in a championship game. Cochran, a beautiful cut and a nice finish in the paint.
Yeah, just make a simple play. And he did. Good pass from Graves.
Very few chances over the course of your career to win a championship. You know, you think it's plentiful. It's not. A conference tournament championship matters. Sometimes the pressure can get you at least early, and sometimes you just need to exhale and just go, okay, I got this. It's still just basketball.
In some ways, it's why these championship games on a conference level are so good in preparation for the next step for these teams.
It can be winning, like as you talked about today at lunch, just winning your pod.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of the job in a tournament like this, and then it's your job come Selection Sunday when you find out what pod you're in.
Just go win on Thursday, try to win on Saturday. Go win on Friday, try to win on Sunday. And it's not 6 games, it's 2 games to advance to the next weekend.
Correct, and I mean, Christian Hammond might be a perfect example. He was a mess last night. Miller 3, too strong. And Hammond's playing great in the first half here tonight.
Very composed, confident, getting to his spot. He's done a lot of work inside the paint.
Lugoff drives by Miller, kicks. And then Saint-Supéry, that was good hands on defense.
You talk about Graves as a scorer. He's also a good facilitator. Look at the little patience. Great cut from the wing, and Cochran able to catch and finish. Broncos do a good job sharing the basketball. They've got 5 assists on 9 made field goals.
Freshman of the year in the league, 6th man of the year in the league, 1st team all conference coming off the bench. Pretty good year.
Very good year.
Hammond finds Graves. Well, they left him open again. 3, no good. Long rebound, Napper. Hammond will try. He rushed that one. And the air ball goes out of bounds.
And again, the number of offensive rebounds that we've seen already in this game, kind of astounding. You know, you would not have predicted 8 offensive rebounds for Santa Clara here in the first half.
That'll be concerning for Mark Few.
The extra possessions be the difference maker at the end of the night.
Cochran into the passing lane, comes up with a steal. Napper pulls up for 3 in transition. Wow.
I think that was a poor decision. He had numbers, could have got a layup.
Now Worley goes all the way and missed it. Oh my goodness. Graves just took a shot on his knee. He's hurting a little bit. Blow the whistle.
Yeah, knee contact for Graves, and
ouch. That hurts.
We can give him a second to see if he's okay. What a first half for a very talented freshman. You hope he's going to be all right. And he just going for the ball, just that knee-to-knee contact right there on the inside of his knee by Worley as he was turning up the court. Cochran, by the way, much better stint that time.
Way better.
You know, I called him out early for the fouls and lack of communication defensively. He came back in the game and made a couple of really positive plays for Santa Clara that they're going to need more out of him as this game goes along.
I will never, just one little opinion, I'll never understand that we got a 4-on-2. Let's shoot a 3. Ensminger shoots a 3 and it's perfect.
5-on-5, you good with that one?
I'm totally good with that one.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I thought Napper should have given that ball up, and they should have tried to apply pressure at the rim.
Saint-Supéry drains the answer.
The Zags not a great three-point shooting team on the season, doing really well early in this game. 50% of their makes have been from deep.
Oboye, the big man. Whew. Air ball.
And Herb Semick says, why? It was not that one. He literally said, not that one. We don't need that one.
Early in the shot clock. Just came back in the game. He's got 2 fouls with Graves out. Graves looks like he's running back to the bench. It seems like he's okay. Napper steals it away.
This Broncos defense has been opportunistic.
They are aggressive. Some of that, the fouls committed is a byproduct. They do like to play aggressively on that end. So you take some of the bad with a lot of good.
But 6 turnovers forced against Gonzaga. 5 of them have been steals. Those are live ball turnovers.
Yeah. And that was the second foul against Saint-Exupéry. So he goes out. Braden Smith comes back in. Mario Saint-Exupéry, the freshman who, as the years gone on, doesn't happen often for Mark Few's teams, has taken the role as the lead point guard in his first year. Hammond against Fogel. Good defense there, and he made the shot anyway.
What a first half for Hammond. He's up to 10 points now.
Yeah, I think he's played great.
He needed him to bounce back. You need your stars in a championship game. Your stars need to be there. So far early, Graves and Hammond have shown up really strong for Santa Clara.
That's a reach around, though. Hammond gets called for the foul.
And on the flip side of it, I'm just going to point it out. We're 16.5 minutes in this game. Graham Ike has attempted only 1 field goal. He averaged 28 points per game on the season against the Broncos. Great defense on the inside. Well, and that's what when we went to their film session earlier this morning for Santa Clara, and we were talking with Jason Ludwig and Herb Semick. That was their goal, Coach. Their goal was, hey, and this is counterintuitive to Santa Clara and how they play defense. Like in the first 2 matchups, why they were so successful scoring is that Santa Clara innately wants to pressure the ball. So they would run to the ball and create driving lanes and seams. And on those driving lanes, they get into rotations, and Graham Ike would dominate. They've done a much better job of forcing them to shoot 3-point shots. A lane violation is going to give another free throw here. To Coach's point, shrinking the floor. And baiting them into 3-point shots. What does that mean? They're giving up, they're giving space, saying, hey, that's the shot we're going to give you. And when your opponent takes the shots that you're giving them, that's usually a good sign for your team.
Fogel took advantage of the second opportunity and makes the front end of the 1-and-1.
Got to stop fouling, though.
Yeah. Big issue for Santa Clara again tonight. From here on out, it'll be double bonus for the final 3+ minutes of this first half championship game. Fogel way short.
Well, the free throws not going down early for Gonzaga. Below 50% now in the game. 3 of 7 from the free throw line.
It's like they watched Santa Clara last night and thought, yeah, maybe we'll do that ourselves. Graves, great catch. That could have easily been a turnover. Hammond 3, no. And the point guard, Lugoff. Offensive rebound, and what a finish by Hammond. Off the pass, chance for a 3-point play.
Dominating second chance point. So to Coach's point, defensively, doing a great job of shrinking the floor, forcing them to take 3-point shots. Offensively, they have been the aggressor. They have been the more physical team. They have been the team that have won the 50-50 balls. They've been able to get those second chance opportunities to score off of the offensive rebound. 9 offensive rebounds, 11 points scored off of those offensive rebounds.
Santa Clara returns the favor with a missed free throw. But they lead by 7. Ike, again, just hasn't been able to get even shot attempts off.
He's not getting to his spot.
Smith drives, foul.
So where is Graham Ike's spot? You know, I've called 1,000 Gonzaga games seemingly over the last 16 years. Graham Ike's spot, he wants to duck in and be in the center of the paint and get an easy catch and finish, or he wants to work on the left block and turn over his right shoulder. He's catching the ball extended off the block. They're bringing the double team to him so he can't even back down and get to that spot. He had multiple turnovers, and he's been inefficient in his ability to try to dominate this game.
Well, Santa Clara's getting away with some of this fouling, by the way. All of those good points, and maybe Mark Few having a conversation with his star about that, because Braden Smith missed another free throw.
You want to know how you get Graham Ike off the spot a little bit? You work early, and another missed free throw. Insane. But Alan Graves is doing a really good job defensively, meeting Graham Ike early and not allowing him to get deep.
Hammond, he's feeling it.
So is Graves.
three, no. Darlin, offensive rebound. Part of the story of this half. Gavalugov, who was spectacular last night, has been very quiet on the offensive end. Ensminger with Smith guarding him. And he almost traveled. Hammond threw up an air ball. Here come the Zags running. Worley in the open court dunks it down.
A good job taking the air ball and getting two in transition, playing in front of the defense. And part of the good offense for Santa Clara on the second chance points have allowed them to set their defense and take the Zags out of transition.
Worley pounding Hammond. Darlin elevates for a three. Too strong. Gavalugov taps it to Hammond. Now a three. Left side is good.
And Mark Few is calling a timeout because he is tired of watching the Broncos make the effort plays and get on the offensive glass and continue to punish them in second chance points. First shot defense hasn't been that bad for the Zags. Second shot defense, well, that's been a problem.
Well, the ACC men's basketball tournament continuing tomorrow. Second round action. 3 games already played today. Stanford was a team that had a path to a bid. That path was eliminated. Tomorrow, 4 games. Coverage all day across our networks and on the ESPN app. Out of the timeout, Zags have the ball down 8. Under 2 minutes to go first half in this title game.
See if they can establish Graham Ike on the block. He's in a good position now to get it. They lift him.
There's Ike.
That's a travel.
Yeah, he got away with it. Smith open 3. In and out, no good. Innocenti, offensive rebound. Smith is going to drive, pull up, use glass, missed it. Tyon Grant Foster flies in. This opportunity doesn't go. Uncharacteristic. Gavalugov finally made a shot just a moment ago. 1 minute left here in the first half. Santa Clara with the ball. Hammond backing his way in against Smith. Double team King. Hammond passes out of it. Wow. It looked like Gavalugov got held. Smith out of the open, lays it in.
Well, turnovers creating opportunities for Gonzaga here in the final 2 minutes where they've been able to run out in front. Mentioned the turnover problems Santa Clara had in the 2 meetings earlier this year.
How about a 2-for-1 opportunity? That ball out of bounds, and that one off of the Broncos. Gavalugov shot the quick 3. I don't see college teams do that very often.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, me too.
I like the 2-for-1 opportunity. You've got the lead. You got no chance of giving up that lead with the one possession that you assume the Zags will have here. Really impressed in the first half with Santa Clara. They played with questions of how would they respond from the significant win last night that all but assured them getting the NCAA tournament. The answer is they've played very free. They've played very aggressive here in the first 20.
Well, they're 4 of 20 from 3, and they lead by 6. It tells you how many other things they've really done well. See how the Zags play this with about a 5-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Ike goes to work. Ike attacks and scores.
And Graham Ike, emotional, wanting the ball in his hands, finally got it in a place where he could score just his second basket of the game.
Broncos looking for the final shot. Hammond down to 3. Hammond cut off. And they don't get a shot off. Good defense from the Zags. The first half comes to an end. And a 4-point lead for Santa Clara.
A lot of things went right for Santa Clara in the first half. Gonzaga's going to have to figure out how to clean up their defensive glass. That's where they've lost this lead in the first half, is their inability to close out possessions.
Sargento halftime report. It's Zubin and Coach.
Dave, Sean, thank you. The Sargento halftime report is underway. Welcome inside with Seth Greenberg. I'm Zubin Mehenti. So in the 2 regular season matchups, Coach, Gonzaga scored 94 points in a win over Santa Clara and 89 in a win. What is going on here at the half?
First, before you're talking about the scoring, you think about the dominance on the glass, 14-0 and second chance points for Santa Clara. But what's going on is they're controlling the tempo of the game with their defense, not with their offense, but with their defense. Santa Clara is pressuring the ball, but they're behind the ball. They're shrinking the court. They're getting Graham Ike off his spot and forcing him to catch it out a step further. Now, what does Gonzaga have to do? They've got to move him, because if he just sits on that block, it's easy to kind of ride him up the lane, and you know where your help is coming from. They've got to move him, almost play through him. He knocked down that three at the end.
Yeah.
Get him to reverse the ball, then have him cut into the post. But the defensive game plan for Herb Sendek, absolutely perfect. When you have a team that shoots 11 of their 24 shots from the three, that means Graham Ike is not being established in the low post.
Santa Clara's first West Coast championship game since 2007 when they lost to Gonzaga. A win tonight. They're officially in the dance for the first time in 30 years. Guess who else is in the dance? Either Monmouth or Hofstra. Hofstra up, but Justin Ray cutting into it for Monmouth.
Big time three right there, but Hofstra's poised down the stretch. You're going to see a drag ball screen right here with Plotnikov. All of a sudden you drag too. That's why you put a guy in a ball screen. Plotnikov's pops and knocks down an absolute huge three. And that's what March Madness is all about. One bid leagues. You do not understand the emotion of earning your way into the NCAA tournament.
Speedy Claxton was a star player, and now the coach that gets him back for the first time in a quarter century. Detroit Mercy, Wright State Horizon League Championship. Mercy's up a dozen, but here come the Raiders of Wright State.
Yeah, Birch using that dribble, getting in the lane, finishing it at the rim. He was terrific. This extra pass. Wood knocks down back-to-back big-time threes. The assist from Pickett, and the other end, what's his defensive play by Pickett? Blow by, contest, vertical contest. That's a freshman. Back-to-back plays, big-time play, great contest. Absolutely great comeback for Wright State. Another one big lead. When you earn it, you earn it.
And they earned it. There are 10 teams that have officially punched their ticket. Wright State was picked to finish 7th in the preseason poll. They basically went wire to wire. They were the best team in the league all season long. Congratulations to those Raiders. We've got some breaking news. Raiders of a different kind. The locking it to opening night is one of the great stories of the college basketball season. He's going to have to rally if it's going to be a great night for the Zags. We're back with more Champ League highlights after this.
You're watching the Sargento Halftime Report.
Oh, and we're watching Bam. Hang tight. More coming on that. Miles Colvin down Wake 2. Demon Deacons tied at 73. Final seconds of regulation. An opportunity to seal the deal for Tech.
Yeah, Bedford gets in the lane. Pretty good look right there. Good contest by Wake Forest. We'll have a little free basketball. This has been the story of Wake Forest season all season long. They need to find a way to finish one. Great drive right there by Aiken. Gets N1 and a huge win for Wake Forest.
Wake Forest's first overtime win of the season, and as Coach mentioned, it's been a hard luck team. Couldn't have come at a better time. Duke will play Thursday in the ACC quarters. A reminder, they'll be without Caleb Foster and Patrick Gungba, at least for the ACC tournament. Foster is out indefinitely. There is no stopping or keeping AJ DeBonta off any court anywhere. He goes for 40, Coach, in his first ever college postseason game.
40 on 21 shots, 15 for 21. There's a little kickback right there. His ability to dominate the game almost as a point forward. You see in there his patience to get lane shot runners. He had back downs. When he has the ball in the middle third of the floor, he's almost impossible to defend unless you send a second defender at him. Terrific finisher. Reminds me of Trace McGrady. So physical, so strong. Incredible middle game and incredible 40-point effort.
And speaking of incredible, going for 40 in your first postseason game. What's more incredible than this? He had less than half the amount of points Bam Adebayo did in the NBA. Tying a record with the late, great Kobe Bryant. We'll show it to you next on A Night for the Ages across the basketball spectrum.
This halftime report is presented by Sargento Natural American.
You're watching ESPN's Champ Week presented by Principal, the WCC Men's Basketball Championship from Las Vegas. We get ready to start the second half of 3-seed Santa Clara with a 4-point lead over top-seeded Gonzaga. And, they broke out the big-time entertainment at halftime. The Red Panda was here.
We are in the entertainment capital of the year. There's nothing more entertaining than Red Panda at halftime.
She nailed it, as always. Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham, back here with you. All right, well, the Broncos are 20 minutes away from their first NCAA tournament berth in 30 years, and they're playing like they really want it tonight with the way they attack the offensive glass?
Well, it's the physicality that they brought to the game early, and some of that has been fouls. We saw 10 fouls in the first half, but a big part of that has been 11 offensive rebounds that has led to 14 second chance points on the game. And the Broncos need to continue to try to apply pressure on the offensive glass. Get those extra possessions and then execute and space the floor off of it. They did a great job cutting and moving and shifting the defense. Meanwhile, Graham Ike, WCC Player of the Year, absolutely dominated the first two matchups between these two teams. Field goal percentage is great, but he's only had 2 shot attempts. I promise you this. First 4 minutes of this game, Graham Ike is going to try to take over. Now, is he going to be successful? That's going to be predicated upon can he get to his spot on the floor where he wants to execute. But I got to imagine Gonzaga is going to try to force feed the big fella.
20 minutes to go, a championship on the line. Oboye missed the shot, got his own miss, and with the left hand, gets the first basket of the second half. Now a whistle and
Clock issue.
Clock issue. Everyone at home thinking Santa Clara's already committed a foul.
Not yet. Give it a second.
All right, so they got it sorted out.
Well, I think on the first possession, you really want to get Graham Ike the ball down low in the paint. Whether it's on a short roll situation where he's really good on the short roll, or whether he's diving and then dunking in.
You can only imagine what the locker room was like. I guarantee you Ike was very vocal about 2 shots in the first half.
They're doing a good job just pushing them up the lane. They're just not allowing to get that deep post position.
Good help defense there. Sansbury for 3. No. Worley and Ensminger went down. He's hurt. This shot from the outside goes in. And Jake Ensminger, a very important player for Santa Clara, face down on the court. Oh my goodness. Like his low back gave out.
You're going to be on the weak side, the left-hand side of your screen, and just wedged in by Jalen Worley, and he went down, and St. Superi knocked down the 3.
Kind of a bad break for Santa Clara in that the injury got him disorganized on defense, and that led to the 3 points. And then on top of it, one of your most important, most experienced players is still down.
I mean, you look at the stat line, it's 3 points, it's 1 rebound, 1 assist, but he means a lot more to the team than just his stats. Like he does a really good job defensively, having awareness. He helps space the offense, and you hope that back didn't tighten up and is going to prohibit him from impacting this game in the second half.
He's the son of a coach, grew up playing for his dad in Germany, and he plays like that. He's in the right spot all the time. Gets up here, and he's not moving like he's feeling great. Hopefully he can get loosened up so he can get back in the game.
The one thing, when you're doing your game boards, one of the first things is an effort player who just does a great job of getting to the right spot on the floor all the time. And that's what he does, and he's walking very gingerly off this floor right now.
That doesn't look good.
Hopefully he's going to be able to come back.
3-point game, Gonzaga.
I like this little pressure that we're seeing out of Gonzaga. Try to create some energy, maybe create some turnovers. I mentioned they had some turnover issues in the first matchup. Got to get the ball over.
They did, finally. Mahi, a little shot fake. Mahi had some foul trouble in the first half. The shot blocked by Worley. Came up with a loose ball, but here comes Gonzaga. 2-on-1. Miller up and under. Well, they left Napper wide open for 3. No. Oboye puts it back in.
Continued second chance points opportunities continue to grow. Oboye now twice in the second half has got an offensive rebound. Once his own, and that one from beyond 3.
Hardly played in the first half because of the quick foul trouble. He's got 2 baskets already in the second half. And they're still having a hard time getting it to Ike until then.
That was as easy as an entry pass and finish as we've seen for Graham Ike in the game.
Garland 3 right side. Good.
Well, one thing that you'd say is Santa Clara's a really good three-point shooting team. They took a lot of threes in the first half. They didn't make a lot. They're only shooting 19% on the game. If they start finding their percentage from deep, they could actually win this game.
Catch and shoot three. Sansbury missed it. Worley, though, nice save. Zags,
good recovery. Good recovery defensively that time. They were kind of out of sorts for a second.
Here's Ike down low. Worley couldn't handle the pass and then out of bounds. And they say Gonzaga ball. That looked to me like it was off Worley.
I thought Worley knocked that one out, but that was as easy as they got. They got Ike down low in space in the center of the paint.
No review. Santa Clara looked at it. Their video team behind the bench had the iPad out, but Gonzaga will. Good inbound play. Tyon Grant Foster. Wow, what a block by Darlin. Hammond out of the open court, and then Sansbury hustled back and knocked it out of bounds.
What a job and a recovery by Darlin. His wingspan, his athleticism to go up top and meet Tyon Grant Foster. What a play.
Big time. Santa Clara ball up by 4. Oboye goes to the bucket, got shoved and hit on the shoulder. Missed the shot, but he'll go to the free throw line.
Really good job by Hammond to snake back through on that and create that seam to deliver the ball.
Hammond is playing well tonight. Oboye is playing well in the second half. His first few minutes, he's been really active. This big man, he's got a nice touch. Beautiful free throw.
He's 5 points now in the first 3 minutes of the second half.
And how many did he have in the entire first half? 0. He's got another free throw coming here.
And remember, the substitutions change things for Santa Clara as well, because you're bringing Graves off the bench. Played so well in the first half, and it's almost time for him to join the party here in the second half.
That's true. Gadalugov hasn't gotten in this second half yet either. Miller down low, Ike. And had it stripped away. Tyon Grant Foster blocked again, but they blow the whistle. That's a foul.
And just good pass. And the problem for Ike was he was too low. He was below the backboard and didn't really have an opportunity to just go straight up with that shot.
And Foster at the free throw line. Zags have really struggled at the line. 3 of 9 as a team in this game. That one goes in. So the 2 bench stars for Santa Clara, 3 minutes into the second half, come in for the first time.
The initial report, by the way, on Hensminger is that he has a muscle spasm on his back. He's currently on the bike. They are working on him in the far corner. We can see it.
Both free throws good, trying to get him loosened up and back in this game.
Nice march. I mean, you feel it, right? Like the intensity of this game, the intensity of this building. It's been billowing since the fans got let in.
Final WCC game for Gonzaga. Santa Clara so hungry for a title. They haven't had one in a long time, and Christian Hammond makes another tough shot.
And that's where he's had success in this game. I mean, every time he's scored, really, it's been his ability to get into the paint and then just spin off and finish.
He's good at that. Miller, Ike used the shot fake to get Graves in the air, gave it up to Miller. That 3 way short. Grant Foster, offensive putback, and a foul.
Great job by Tyon Grant Foster getting on the offensive glass. As the shot goes up, he moves underneath. Mahi doesn't put a body on him, and because he missed him, it allows him to get to the ball quicker and then be able to finish. You got to box out. You got to have awareness there if you're Mahi. Tyon Grant Foster's had a very strong game this evening. He missed the free throw, but a couple big threes in the first half. Get on the offensive glass. He's got 12 points leading the way right now for Gonzaga.
Missed the free throw. Santa Clara gets it back. He has played well. The Zags have made a point. They have hit the offensive glass hard in the first 4 minutes of the second half. Pressure again. Jarlin who's in for Ensminger. Although Ensminger now getting ready to come back in the game. Hammond was wide open and missed it. Grant Foster dishes to Ike. Rises, dunks it down. Graves back to Hammond. Three. Good.
What an answer by the Broncos.
That was great two-man basketball. Then Miller, he saved it. Wow, nifty play by Miller. Fumbled it, but then saved it off Hammond.
Well, Graham Ike has been a force to be reckoned with in college basketball all season long. Averaging better than 19 and 8 per game. A quiet first half. Not a quiet play for the big fella right there. 5-point game, championship on the line here in Vegas.
What a spirited championship game we've had so far in the second half. Santa Clara leading by 5. It's been so long. Steve Nash's senior year, 30 years ago, the last time Santa Clara played in the NCAA tournament. The world was a different place.
Album of the year, Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette. How about Best Picture? Braveheart. Didn't have it on the card. How about Kerry Strug landing on one leg in Atlanta, winning gold for gymnastics in the '96 Olympic Games, and then that's me.
Yeah, I made him put that one on there. That's my partner, Sean Farnham, fresh-faced with De La Salle High School back in 1996.
In case you're wondering where Herb was going at Miami, Ohio, who's been a great story in college basketball all year, and transitioning to North Carolina State.
Yeah, he was already starting his second stint as a college head coach.
600 career wins, 601 would be really sweet for Herb tonight.
Indeed. Broncos feel like they're going to be in. Everybody feels like they're going to be in, but you take all doubt away by winning tonight in this title game. Double team comes, ball almost stripped away. Graves, who's just good at that, jump ball. Ensminger back in there. We said he was coming to the scorer's table. Gonzaga will keep it with 4 on the shot clock.
And this is one of those plays I was talking about. You look at this box score, it's not gonna show anything here by Ensminger, but the timing of that was perfect. Created the opportunity to get the loose ball. Excellent job defensively, understanding the assignment and what you're asked to do.
Every coach wants a guy like him. Tyon Grant Foster off the inbound.
Every coach wants a guy like him, especially tonight.
So aggressive.
And he applies pressure on the interior of your defense. 14 points.
Hammond, Ike came out to help. Hammond's got Ike on him. Now Graves against Fogel. Santa Clara might like that matchup. Fogel, though, knocked it away. A very rare turnover for Graves. Sansouberry along the baseline. 3, good!
Kennel South coming alive.
Ike moving his feet against Hammond. Great defense. Shot clock down to 5. Mahi gets one off. No. Graves high, out of bounds, and a foul. They're going to call Ike over the back.
Graham Ike has worked really hard in developing this aspect of his game. Feet set, step in, hit the 3. A 34% three-point shooter on the season. What's more impressive, actually, was him moving the feet defensively against Hammond on that possession after the switch.
Really impressive. He's got 3 fouls now, though. A little trap in the corner. Somehow Santa Clara got out of there. Cochran, that's a tough shot, and it goes.
So confident in that shot. I mean, just a really good job. Again, how he started versus how you're trying to finish the game. He has really relaxed, and a big shot in a big moment for Santa Clara.
Grant Foster, he was dying to go downhill there, gave it up. Vogel drives. Back to Ike.
Gonna stay down. Good job by Graves, having discipline defensively.
Saint-Exupéry off the iron. Innocenti, offensive board. Vogel three. Good!
As the first lead of the night for the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Good fence. Lugoff, who just hasn't gotten going on the offensive end. Little shimmy move. Missed the shot, though. Grant Foster rebound. Rags want to run. Ensminger cut him off. Grant Foster pass deflected and stolen. Big time intensity in this game right now. Extra pass. Mahi shot fake. Three. Good.
Excellent shot fake. Innocenti slid over to try to take away the three for Graves as he popped out. And that forced a longer run out, and he left his feet, and Mahi just stepped to the open spot and got set.
Vogel, they're using him as a ball handler some of these last few possessions. Doing a good job.
How good is this?
Really good game. Championship caliber game. Cochran. Nice play on the ball. Couldn't quite steal it away. Vogel, shot clock under 10. Driving middle. Hangs. No. Ike puts it back in to tie it once again. He's everywhere right now.
And he's perfect from the field, up to 13 points now for Graham Ike.
Lugoff trying to get free. Saint-Exupéry's just been hounding him all game. Great defense. Outlet. Vogel tried to dish it to Ike. Graham Foster. Ball movement on the perimeter. Vogel dives again. Saint-Exupéry. No. Mahi. 3-on-2. Santa Clara, though, is going to back it out.
And good decision that time. Mahi wasn't necessarily in attack mode when he caught the ball. His back was essentially to the basket.
Nice pass. Cochran three. No. Ike comes away with it. Outlet. Saint-Exupéry got blocked from behind, but a foul. Now the freshman from Spain, he's flying all over the court. What a championship game we've got. It's tied at 52.
A tie game here in the men's championship game of the West Coast Conference Tournament. Earlier today, the Gonzaga women's basketball team able to clinch their first tournament championship since 2022, led by Lauren Whitaker. She was the freshman of the year, player of the year, the most outstanding player of the conference tournament. Very easily could be your national freshman of the year as well. The product from New Zealand delivered big time in a big game today as they knocked off the Oregon State Beavers and took home the women's championship title.
Trying to make it 2-for-2 championship night in the WCC on the men's side. Number 1 seed Gonzaga, champions in this tournament a year ago, and in this game 29 consecutive years against a team that hasn't played in this game since 2007, hasn't won this game since 1993. And yet the Broncos are going toe-to-toe. Mario Saint-Exupéry out of the break at the free throw line after drawing a foul. Gonzaga didn't lead until, what, 2 minutes ago for the first time all game.
They just been difficult for them to build in momentum and in confidence.
That one rims
Missed
out.
free throws helping though. I mean, they have struggled at the free throw line this evening.
Big time. And it is a weakness of this team. It's not like this the first time it's happened.
There's something to think about in March. You know, some of those games get tight in March. You start missing those free ones. As SVP says, make your fouls.
It's simple, but it's so true. Hammond into the lane. That was a tough one. Oboye knocked it back. Cochran in the corner. That cut off baseline. Little baby hook, no good. Outlet. Innocenti. Shot fake. No. Missed opportunity for Gonzaga.
They've missed a couple of those tonight out in transition that they normally finish.
Graves on the floor right now.
Good thing to remind everybody, this is Gonzaga's second game in a row.
Boy, a block by UK. Wow, what a block. Grant Foster scores. Blocked by Saint-Exupéry. 2 players down for Santa Clara. Fogel will go to the free throw line. You said it early. It's a different Gonzaga team. It's not the offensive fireworks we're used to seeing from the Zags, but the defense has led the way.
Just a great rotation from Graham Ike to meet up over the top. That creates the run-out opportunity. Unlike previous teams where they'd run to that three-point line and look to cast, this team runs to that line and then looks to drive immediately on the catch and apply pressure to the rim.
Herb Sendek immediately sends Graves, Gavalugov, and Mahi back in the game.
But one of the things I was going to this is the 3rd game in a row for Santa Clara, and it's a 7-0 run right now for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Santa Clara needs to breathe, settle down, and the Zags need to continue to play off their defense to manufacture their offense.
All right, tonight's Player Spotlight brought to you by Cintas. And who else? He has turned it up, Graham Ike.
You knew he was going to. We talked about his averages, 72% shooting in 2 games, averaging almost 28 points per game, but a slow first half. And he's come out here in the second half, and he's made a monster impact on this contest. 9 points coming here in the second half, including that big jam. And the Zags have fed off the energy of the best player in the WCC and a guy really that should be considered for All-American teams this year. Now, there's only 5 players in all of Division I that averaged 19-plus points per game and 8-plus rebounds per game. They're Cam Boozer, JT Toppin, Caleb Wilson, another one of them. Graham Ike is one of those 5.
And he wants to go out of champion, playing in his last WCC title game in his storied Gonzaga career. Meanwhile, for Santa Clara, 7-0 run for the Zags. Broncos have led most of the way. Got to dig deep now. You mentioned the 3 games in 3 days. I think it's a good point. So they have the energy left. They need more for this guy. He was the hero last night. He throws a whoa, boy, oh my goodness, over the rim. Whoa.
He was looking down at the rim.
His eyes look down through the hoop. That's about as high as you'll ever see anybody jump.
I want to stop at your play.
Saint-Exupéry says no stoppage.
And he doesn't apologize for it.
No. He's played great. 13 points, but has hounded Santa Clara on defense as well.
Well, and the big part of that is his ability to make shots. I mean, that's why he's out there. He can really shoot the ball. Sometimes he's a little streaky, but tonight 4 of 9 from deep.
Santa Clara needs more from this guy, Graves. Spin move baseline, nice touch off the glass.
How much fun. This game has lived up to what you and I talked about this morning at breakfast, what we thought it could be.
Yeah. And you watch Santa Clara play tonight against this level of effort from Gonzaga, and it's clear they look the part. This is a tournament team, no matter what happens with the final score.
Can't lunge and reach there, though.
Fogel down low to Ike. That was a good pass from Fogel.
I think he was throwing that one to Ty. Grant Foster for a lob and just came up short, and Ike took it and scored.
Ike didn't get enough shots in the first half.
He's going to get greedy with it.
He's got 15, hasn't missed a shot from the field. Steal attempt and loose ball. Santa Clara keeps it.
Now Santa Clara trailing by 6 here. But the question is this: how high did he get? Look at this. Oh my goodness. I mean, head above the rim, hands above the block. Just throw it up and let him get it.
Just a really high-level game here in the WCC. Title night in Vegas. Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham. Zags lead 62-56. Game summary, what stands out to you?
Well, I think obviously they've done a much better job in the second half of keeping Santa Clara off of second chance points. They had 14 in the first half, only 5 here in the second half. And Graham Ike, as we anticipated, will come out here in the second half and make his impact. But you brought it up, partner. Mario St. Saburi, not just at the offensive end, but what he's been able to do at the defensive end, staying attached, has been unbelievable.
I mean, even there, he would not let Gavalugov catch it off the inbound pass. Gavalugov is 1 for 7 from the field. Nice pass. Mahi 3, way short. Gavalugov hustles, grabs the offensive rebound. Mahi was wide open there. Santa Clara's going to make some of those. Graves. Foul pass, not a great one. Stolen by the Zags. Fogel back to Saint-Exupéry. 3. Good.
He's the MVP of the game so far tonight. The 5 made 3-pointers, and we talked about Santa Clara's need to own the three-point line. They are losing the three-point battle.
Here's one, too strong. Hammond follow. No. Oboye had a hand on it, out of bounds off of Gonzaga. He's played great.
And they're just so in control in the big moment. Having himself a good time.
A little Prince, and he wears his emotions on his sleeve, whether he's crashing into cheerleaders or making big threes. Inbound play. Gavalugov got by Ike. Hits just his second shot from the field in this game.
They're going to need a lot more of that in the final 6 minutes from him.
Broncos have led most of the way. They're down 7, though. Under 6 to play. Can Santa Clara make a push here? Fogel's played well. Looks poised on the big stage. Chenti over to Fogel. Shot clock winding down. That one off to the side. Gets the offensive rebound, though. And Foster goes baseline. Got fouled by Graves. And I don't think that was a shooting foul.
I think that's going to be on the ground. Only the 5th foul in the second half for Santa Clara.
Done a better job with that. Last night against St. Mary's, the fouls just piled up in the first half tonight. Lensbinger and Oboye, who's given Herbst good minutes in the second half.
Yeah, 8 points, 4 rebounds, all of those coming really in the second half of this game.
Grant Foster off the inbound pass. Tough move, but didn't finish.
I think you got to pick up the tempo a little bit. The defensive transition and the length on the perimeter is bothered Santa Clara.
Hammond, he draws the foul.
And that's kind of what I was alluding to right there. You got to force the issue a little bit if you're Santa Clara, because it's part of the reason why you're shooting 26% from three. It is because of the versatility and the ability to switch out on the perimeter and the length defensively in which Gonzaga can close out and take away space. And part of that is that Santa Clara has allowed Gonzaga to set their defense. They haven't looked to score out in transition or when the defense is still unsettled. That time Christian Hammond saw a seam, attacked it, drew the foul, and gets to the free throw line.
Boye right back in. Graves who checks out. Hammond's got one more free throw coming. Hammond's played really well tonight. Made them both. Game's not over, not by any means. Vogel as the press breaker. It's a little wrinkle.
Mark Few always have been comfortable with bigger players bringing the ball up the floor. A Vogel's skill set, though, he's got great versatility.
Superi passed up the three. Skip pass stolen by Mahi. Great anticipation. Mahi will shoot the three in transition, and it was way short. Now Gonzaga has the advantage. Three coming. Another one. Boye got fouled on this end.
You miss a three and you come up short at the opposite end of the floor. Mario just tees up his feet and knocks it down. He's feeling it tonight. And just an incredible performance by a really talented freshman guard.
They really played his best game. I mean, considering the circumstances, he's had a lot of good games. He's taken the starting job over as a freshman at a proud program where that doesn't happen very often. But tonight, this is as well as he's played.
Well, a proud program that doesn't happen frequently yet, and that has a lineage of just amazing guard play. The Nemhards, Suggs, Pangos, Santangelo. You just keep going down the list of all, obviously John Stockton, who's way in the distant past as far as the program goes, but just that lineage goes back and starts with Stockton and carries all the way through.
He might be next.
Questions about can the Zags make enough three-point shots to win games in the NCAA tournament if the team can take away their interior presence.
He's made 6 of them himself tonight. Graves off the inbound pass, gave it up. Ensminger three. That one short off the front iron. Rebound knocked out of bounds, and they'll say Santa Clara keeps it.
And Ty and Grant Foster was leaking out a little bit, and Graham Ike reminded him, you got to come back and get that possession there.
Broncos, a lot of chances. They're just not making three-point shots, and a lot of them have been open. Might need view from this guy down the stretch. Can he be a hero again? Trying to find room. Long three. Good!
Now that was very similar to the shot that he hit against Dent last night to ice the game. The Bronco needed that one in a big way.
Back down to 5 with under 4 to go.
And Sasha's got 5 points in the last minute and a half of this game.
And we know they can come real fast with him. Vogel got it back from Ike. 3 left side. Rebound Ike. Vogel gets the carry, flips it up and in.
The first half, the story was second chance points for Santa Clara. With under 4 minutes left to go, it's second chance points for the Gonzaga Bulldogs that extend their lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team.
The sun rising in the east,
taxes, and the Gonzaga Bulldogs making it to the West Coast Conference Finals. It's celebration time in Las Vegas.
Their 22nd West Coast Conference Tournament Championship.
Just all those great players and great championship teams. Most conference tourney titles all time. Kentucky leads in the SEC. Zags, and it's a big part of the story tonight. This is their final WCC championship game. They're moving to the reconfigured Pac-12 for next year. Again, the Zags make it 23 in the West Coast Conference with a victory. They're 328 away, leading 70-63.
Now for Mark Few, he's been here every single year that he's been on that bench as the head coach. That's just incredible, the consistency of this program and how players step up in this moment.
The only thing that Fogel's done wrong tonight is miss free throws. He's had a great game, and Gonzaga as a whole has had a hard time at the line.
Fogel's on pace to potentially have a triple-double. He's got 10, 7, and 6. He's got to go to work here in the Final Four to get there, but it's been a great game.
Santa Clara down by 7 with the ball. Can't waste possessions now, running out of time. Hammered against Ike. He's played great defense in those switch situations.
That's all.
A heave off the iron. Loose ball. Grabbed by the Zags.
It wasn't close.
It really wasn't. Not a good possession for Santa Clara. San Superi has really dominated that matchup. The headlines were Gavalugov from his performance last night. Fogel drives. Fogel dishes. One freshman to another. Not this time. Santa Clara.
Got to play with pace.
They do.
They got to attack right away. Try to see if they can get 2 to the ball and then kick.
He drives. Ike just stayed with him. Wouldn't let him get a shot off. Bounce pass. Graves could barely handle it. Mahi comes up short. Well, Santa Clara's offense has dried up. Grant Foster steps through, reverses it in. It's been the defense for the Zags. Hammond wasn't even looking at the basket. Somehow made the shot. Timeout Santa Clara with 1:38 to go. Zags that much time away from another WCC title. Well, coming up when we're finished, our friend Scott Van Pelt lining up Sports Center with lots to talk about. Teams punching their tickets for the NCAA tournament. Big night in the NBA, kind of undersells it with Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat.
Historic.
He's going to join the show. Historic is right.
I mean, just incredible night. 83 points.
He scored 83 in a game.
36 from the foul line. He shot 43 free throws.
And the winning coach from this WCC championship game is going to join
43 free throws, Dave.
That's amazing. What a night. He'll be with Scott Van Pelt. When we're finished here in Las Vegas, the last gasp of the Zags in the WCC. You and I are going to miss all the rivalries that this league has created with Gonzaga over the years. So the Zags program is going to keep on rolling. We know that, but trying to finish it off with a tournament championship. And by the way, get their 30th win of the year. They're flying under the radar. They're 29-3.
Beat Alabama. Beat Kentucky. Beat UCLA. Now, some of those wins maybe not look as good as they thought they were going to be potentially on paper, but this team has continued to morph throughout the course of the year. They've dealt with some injuries and had to figure out how to change up their style, and they've really leaned into their defense.
I'm surprised Santa Clara wasn't fouling, especially Fogel struggled at the line, and Ochenti passes it out.
Not too late to foul, obviously.
Yeah. Fogel drives. Fogel lays in! Oh, what a move. This guy's a stud.
What a night for the freshman. Plural form. I mean, just great awareness. Mahi opens up his hip. Once a week, drop steps, he opens up his hip. As soon as he's done that, he's beat. And Fogel is a young man that is just growing in confidence every single game. I asked Graham Ike, I said, "So you think the kid can score?" And he goes, "He's been a bucket since he showed up on campus."
The two freshmen tonight for the Zags. Like a different level of upside for this team with these two playing like this. 10-point lead. Just over a minute. Santa Clara having a hard time getting a shot off. That three in and out. Graham Foster rebound. And now the celebration can start here in Las Vegas.
It's fitting. It really is for Gonzaga and Mark Few's program.
Foul with 51.2 on the clock. All time, and this will, we knew they were going, but this makes it official when they finish off this win. They'll tie Michigan State's streak, Carolina's streak. Only Kansas is longer in the history of the NCAA tournament.
Just remarkable. They've dominated this league. And there's been, obviously what Randy Bennett has done at St. Mary's has been outstanding. They're going to be a tournament team, and Herb Seddick's team is going to go dancing in the NCAA tournament. But in its swan song in the West Coast Conference, the Gonzaga Bulldogs have executed. They've come to Vegas, and they've done what they've always done, seemingly. Win.
Yeah. And Graham Ike, he's leading the way. Why not? He's laughing with his coach because his coach is trying to say, "Hey, look, we still got to finish up this game."
He just looked at Mario and said, "This thing is over." And he's not wrong. Tyler Grant Foster stepping to the line. He's 2 of 4 at the free throw line, but 18 points on the game. That's going to be a lane violation. Doesn't matter. Just so many guys stepping up tonight. I mean, that to me is what's most impressive. You have Mario with 19, Tyon with 19, make it 20. Fogel with 13. Graham Ike, perfect 7 of 7 from the field and 15 points.
And Santa Clara came to play. They led the whole game until about 12 minutes to go. They have dominated this second half. Hammond 3 goes down with 33.8 on the clock.
He's got 24. He's had himself a game, but this is a great experience for the Broncos. I mean, they're going to take their 3rd loss of the season to the Zags, but they came to Vegas on a mission. They had to go ahead and at least win 1, 2, probably put them in for sure. And they got those first 2 games, and they showed themselves very well here tonight against the Gonzaga Bulldogs. You look at their resume, they picked up their second quad 1 victory last night against St. Mary's. Joe Lenardi has them as a 10 seed. Their net improved to 38. Their net will actually improve because they're playing Gonzaga, who has a net ranking of 6 in the country, even with the loss.
Nothing to be ashamed about. Santa Clara, I know they would have loved to have gotten it done here tonight and made it automatic and celebrated on this court, but if you watch this team over the last couple of nights, there can't be a doubt that they belong in the field.
No, they've answered all the questions that they had, especially when you look at what's going on around the bubble. I mean, look, Stanford was a team that maybe could have played their way into the loss. A lot of it will depend upon what goes on around college basketball, but Joe Lenard moved them from the last 4 in to that next grouping that will not play in Dayton. And I don't think there's anything that will happen here tonight that will probably change that. There's nothing better than seeing your name pop up on the screen on Selection Sunday. You sit in the locker room, you have no idea where you're going to go, who you're going to play, what your pod looks like, what's the seed. You can look at everything online nowadays, but when you finally see it come up, you're like, all right, that's our path, let's go. And it's one of the greatest feelings in the world. I was fortunate enough to feel it 4 times.
It gives me goosebumps just to think, even when you know it's coming, just the experience of sitting there with your teammates and waiting and watching and seeing it pop up and knowing what you got to do.
It's a culmination of a journey, right? Like you fought so hard to live the dream and get to the NCAA tournament. Both these teams will get to experience that on Sunday.
final seconds ticking away. Sansbury's going to hold the ball. And the party at Kennel South can start in Las Vegas. Their last trip here as a part of the West Coast Conference. And how else could it have ended? For the 23rd time, Gonzaga, WCC Tournament champions.
That was a complete team effort. And we talked about the offense, but their defense was stifling. And they held Santa Clara to 26% shooting from beyond the arc, under 40% from the field on the game. Just an impressive effort, and their defense is going to be what's going to have to be intact and focused for them to advance in the NCAA tournament next week.
It may be a different Gonzaga team. You got some freshmen.
30 wins, Dave. 30 wins.
Yeah. And the results just stay the same. No matter how they go about it, that man in this program, remarkable. Always fun.
I never take for granted sitting next to you, especially when we get to crown a champion. A special night, you're a special partner.
I echo those thoughts. 79-68, the final score. Zags another win. SVP starts now.